The evidence that the Earth is warming by an amount which is too large to be a chance fluctuation represents a very strong case, in my opinion, that the greenhouse effect has been detected and it is changing our climate now.
Well, the actual temperature rise since my first major paper in 1981 has actually been faster than what we calculated then.
So here is a sense in which the nations, to deal with this problem, have to make a change from their traditional concern about themselves and not about the planet and the species, a change from the traditional short-term objectives to longer-term objectives. And we have to bear in mind that in problems like this, the initial stages of global temperature increase, one region of the planet might benefit while another region of the planet suffers. And there has to be a kind of trading off of benefits and suffering. And that requires a degree of international amity which certainly doesn't exist today. I think that what is essential for this problem is a global consciousness, a view that transcends our exclusive identifications with the generational and political groupings into which by accident we have been born. The solution to these problems requires a perspective that embraces the planet and the future, because we are all in this greenhouse together. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Carl Sagan could not have predicted 2021, but he did see it coming. He wrote the following back in 1995, and we quote, "I have a foreboding of an America in my children's or grandchildren's time when the United States is a service and information economy, when nearly all the manufacturing industries have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of a very few, and no one representing the public interest can even grasp the issue. When the people have lost the ability to set their own agendas or knowledgeably question those in authority, when, clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what's true, we slide almost without noticing back into superstition and darkness. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in the enormously influential media, the 30-second sound bites now down to 10 seconds or less, lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially a kind of celebration of ignorance." Roll that around for a while. Those were among his final published words. He died 10 months later. Here we are 25 years later, realizing just what he was trying to tell us back then.
Because of air travel.
Through the air. Coughing.
I'm sorry, I meant people on planes. That was something you described in your book.
Yes, a new virus in Madagascar, say, could be in Chicago within a matter of weeks, and we end up with a global pandemic. Pan meaning the whole world becomes sick all at once.
And Dr. Newman, you're also an epidemiologist. I presume the prospect of a viral pandemic keeps you up at night as well?
No.
No?
No.
All right, well, that's our show.
No, mankind has been at war with the virus from the start. Sometimes millions of people die, as in an actual war, but in the end, we always win.
But you, just to be clear, you do think microorganisms pose a threat?
Oh, in the most dire terms.
Bacteria?
No.
You like saying no?
Yes.
Not bacteria, not viruses, so...
Fungus. Yes, that's the usual response. Fungi seem harmless enough. Many species know otherwise, because there are some fungi who seek not to kill, but to control. Let me ask you, where do we get LSD from?
Where do you get it from?
It comes from ergot, A fungus. Psilocybin, also a fungus. Viruses can make us ill, but fungi can alter our very minds. There's a fungus that infects insects, gets inside an ant, for example, travels through its circulatory system to the ant's brain and then floods it with hallucinogens, thus bending the ant's mind to its will. The fungus starts to direct the ant's behavior, telling it where to go, what to do, like a puppeteer with a marionette. And it gets worse. The fungus needs food to live, so it begins to devour its host from within, replacing the ant's flesh with its own. But it doesn't let its victim die, no. It keeps its puppet alive by preventing decomposition. How? Where do we get penicillin from?
Fungus. Dr. Schoenheis, you're in distress.
Fungal infection of this kind is real, but not in humans.
True, fungi cannot survive if its host's internal temperature is over 94 degrees. And currently there are no reasons for fungi to evolve to be able to withstand higher temperatures. But what if that were to change? What if, for instance, the world were to get slightly warmer? Well, now, there is reason to evolve. One gene mutates, and an Ascomycetia, Candida, ergot, Cordyceps, Aspergillus, any one of them could become capable of burrowing into our brains and taking control, not of millions of us, but billions of us. Billions of puppets with poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one unifying goal: to spread the infection to every last human alive by any means necessary. And there are no treatments for this, no preventatives, no cures. They don't exist. It's not even possible to make them.
So if that happens,
We lose.
we'll be back.
Climatologists warn that once we cross the 2-degree mark, it will trigger a domino effect of natural disasters. A downward spiral that will threaten to end life on Earth as we know it.
You get inundations that will wash away docks and really cripple ports for long periods of time. Thus, the majority of the goods that are shipped out of this country and shipped into this country come through the ports, 95% at least by bulk. And when you cripple a major port, you really have given the whole economy a whack. Foot of sea level rise, Galveston, Texas, 70% flooded. New Orleans, 90% flooded. Miami Beach, I really hate this, 90% flooded. At 12 feet of sea level rise, Atlantic City's gone. It's 100% flooded. The beach is inland of where the city was. 20 feet of sea level rise and Cambridge, Massachusetts is 80% underwater. New York City is 40% underwater. And Sacramento, though it looks a long way inland, is 60% underwater.
And the worst is yet to come.
Antarctica's huge. If we dropped it onto the lower 48, it would cover the entire lower 48. And the ice is up to 2 miles thick.
There's enough ice on it that if it all melts, the water level rises 200 feet. We think being modern means you don't have to worry about the kinds of diseases that carry people away in job lots. They're still there. We haven't eradicated any of them. It's just waiting for the services to break down. Don't be surprised. Carcasses of animals that died 5,000 years ago or 500 years ago in the permafrost.
As the land thaws, the centuries-old corpses begin to rot. unleashing a new wave of disease stretching down from the north.
We had an incident in northern Russia in 2016 where an animal thawed out of the permafrost and it had anthrax, which is a very nasty disease indeed. One of the local folks who had handled it got anthrax. Epidemic diseases do not tend to vanish of their own accord. If it was around before, it'll probably be surviving somewhere way off a deserted part of the woods or something. All those diseases come back.
The global average temperature soars 5 degrees Celsius above normal. From flooding and disease in the east to the volcanic eruptions of the Pacific Northwest, America finds itself a nation of refugees.